I made a post yesterday about how cortisol isn't making you fat, and I got some real backlash on it. And I was taken aback at how angry people got. Because right now in the fitness world, a lot of people, cortisol is the demon. Cortisol is like the demon. People are like, don't have coffee in the morning. It's going to raise your cortisol. Da, da, da. People are like, everything right now. And that's like the most common question I'm getting on my Q&As right now is about cortisol. Everything is cortisol, cortisol, cortisol. I was like, all right, I guess I'll just address it. I made just a fact-based, science-based post about how cortisol is not making you fat. And actually, if you don't have cortisol, you die. It's essential for life, and there are actually really important benefits of cortisol. And dude, some people got so furious with me. I was like, geez, I had no idea. So I feel out of touch at this moment with the culture.
Are they in their responses? Are they like, hey, here are these metabolic ward studies where people with elevated cortisol levels who are in a calorie deficit gain body fat, and they present you with
no, they're like, you're an
science?
Influencer. There's no good science. What? You're an influencer.
Are the people replying? Because I see it. I actually see a little bit of this one too, and I would imagine that a certain subset of people who struggle to lose weight and then see other people talk about cortisol being this big bad wolf preventing them from losing weight, and then them attaching that to their identity. I can't lose weight because I have high cortisol. Then would want to lash out at somebody. Is it people like that, or is it
it's really interesting.
It's someone with 500,000 followers who is replying to you?
So it's interesting. I would have expected what you first said, where it's like someone who's struggling to lose weight. They've like identified with what they've been told. I must have high cortisol. Blah blah blah. Those people were the most happy to hear what I said. They're like, oh, thank God, it's not as big of a deal. Like, now I feel like I can actually do this. Mm-hmm. It was these coaches. And there's one in particular who I think, looking at her profile, she like competes in bodybuilding or physique or something. But she's created her identity as a coach around telling clients.
A cortisol coach?
That telling clients that cortisol is ruining their progress and da-da-da-da-da. So then here I come basically saying, well, that's not a big deal. And so now everything, if she's spent years telling her clients that cortisol is the killer, that cortisol is the problem, and then here I come and say, well, it's not the problem. For whatever reason, she, instead of looking at it objectively, took it out on me and got really upset. And there were other people as well. Yeah, I'm with you. Da, da, da. But it seemed like the majority were actually coaches. Mm. It's wild to me that they've demonized this hormone that is essential for life. That it's actually wild. So yeah, I'm very out of touch with the culture on that one.
On one issue, overall, you're in touch, and that makes total sense. That because it's not somebody's, let's call it, lack of fitness progress being part of their identity. It's their whole livelihood that they've hitched on this cortisol bandwagon.
It's a really convenient one too, as a coach, because it's such a convenient way to say this is why someone's not losing weight, because it takes all the responsibility off of both people. It takes the responsibility off of the individual who is trying to lose weight because, oh, well, maybe, you just got a cortisol issues and it's your life and, you've got kids and you're working and you can't really control it. So sorry, you just can't do anything about it unless you want to change your entire life, which you probably can't. And it takes it off the coach. Oh, it's not my fault. Your cortisol is high. It's not my fault. It's like, it gives an easy out and the reality is it's like, man, if these people like would stop, because what they're doing is they're fear mongering. They're fear mongering around cortisol. They're fear mongering around stress, and it never holds. Like because some people, their cortisol is sky high and they're very stressed. And when they get really stressed, they stop eating. Mm-hmm. When they stop eating, they lose weight. People who get super stressed and they lose weight. There are other people who, when they get really stressed, they stress eat and they gain weight. It's the behavior. It's not the cortisol. And so instead, teaching your clients how to deal with the behaviors is where you're going to see the success, not demonizing a hormone, a natural physiological process.
Clip it. Clips Nation.
Posted in 2026.